Good afternoon, Dragon Warrior Randomizer fans. We are here with Game 2 of Archfield versus Smashy. This was an asynchronous race run, so they were both given the seed, ran offline recording their video at different times. So these have not been streamed. I have no idea what the results are going to be. I believe nobody except for possibly Angel, who is restreaming this, knows who this is going to be, or knows the results of this game. So it will be very, very interesting to see how this one plays out. Archfield did win the first game. Both Archfield and Smashy got map bossed, and Archfield got map bossed a little less. So he was able to pull off that first game, and we are now getting underway on the second game. We have outside, not return. Let's see if either of our players mistakenly use outside. We have a magic key. We have wings. And we have another magic key, so we can return, save the key, and then immediately go into the treasury when we die because we don't have to worry about protecting our inventory here. The other opportunity, though, is to use the key like Archfield is and go check out what's in the treasury to figure out if you want to do some sort of grind on it. You know, if there's gold in it, if there's gold in a key or something like that, that could work out. There's a death necklace, so there is a gold grind of sorts. We've got, I'm not sure what those items are, those would be fighter's rings that we've got. And fairy water is the last thing. We have 8 attack power, so fairy water is very nice, but it's not enough to sacrifice your keys for, so instead we're going to outside, and, or Archfield's gonna use the wings and hold on to that key. Meanwhile, Smashy, having done outside, has the extra key, has saved and is going to go check what's behind the castle now to see if there may be any source of gold and other keys here. Otherwise, he will reset to hold on to that key. But it's worth knowing, you know, or this could be a trade-in cave and you just know that for later. We've got tablet. Let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, Archfield gonna re-raid that treasury, get his fighter's ring, get his death necklace, get his 1 fairy water that he can use to just get off the ground to start off. Archfield not planning on going in the back, so he's putting on the fighter's ring and moving on. Smashy finds the token. That's nice. That is not worth giving him a key for right now, so he'll go back and get that at a later point, but instead they're both going to be wandering off with the key. Archfield has a torch, Archfield has fairy water, he throws the fairy water at the scorpion, is going to get level 2, which will hopefully have an attack power boost that will make this not... Oh, nope. 1, 2, 2, and radiant. So that's not going to do it for him. We do have a very nearby Sherlock. Smashy going to get his fairy water on the Scorpion and do the exact same thing. We are really, really close to, I think, the northeast edge of the zone, because Smashy just went a little east, found a Warlock, and then Archfield went a little northeast and found an Axe Knight. So I believe the castle is at the very northeast edge of Zone 0. So you want to kind of stay southwest of it. We do have a slime here that's going to get Smashy level 3. And Archfield's going to follow right in his footsteps. And we have 1, 2, 2, 0 again. So back-to-back 1, 2, 2 zeros. Not sure I've ever seen back-to-back levels of identical games. That's pretty cool. It'd have been a lot cooler for them if they were identical games where there were some double digits in there, but nonetheless. Smashy comes across a metal scorpion. That is way outside of their range, but it is not outside of their range if they have a fairy water, which they can get later, so, or they can get back in the thing, but with Hurt More, it's going to be a little trickier. So Smashy gets an excellent move and a torch to get down the scorpion. 1 more experience point is going to get him to 35, which is going to take him to level 4. This slime will do it. So back-to-back levels off of slimes. Let's see if we get another 1, 2, 2, 0. 12, 1, 2, Hurt More. So that's less, that's a little better. The Hurt More, still just a 2 HP gain yet again, but Hurt More's nice, we only have 1. So Smashy's going to branch out and see how far he can get out to find a Hurt Moreable enemy, and then he'll go probably last that and continue on his merry little way. Unfortunately, he's still just finding starting area monsters, and oh, now that's a pretty one. But the Wyvern back attacks hits him, and he is gone. So he'll have to go find that yet again somewhere. Archfield taking on these small monsters to get the rest of the way. Drakey Slimes will be there is 2 Drakeys away from the Hurtmore level, and so he will be off to the races very soon. If Smashy goes a little bit east of here, he will find the zone that has an Axe Knight, which would be really nice to land a Hurtmore on. But now that he's over by Charlock, but he sees a cave, and that will probably attract him instead. And of course, there's a slime sitting over here too. So Smashy cannot find a lot of good monsters. That is the trade-in cave for the Harp. We do not have the Harp, so we will have that for later, but it's nice to have it near home. We know where it is. It's not going to take a long trade-in. Archfield gets his level, going to have his Hurtmore to go through. Here's a Star Wyvern. It's about 30% to go down to our Hurtmore. Let's see if it happens. It does not happen, and it has heal. We don't have another Hurtmore, so we're just going to have to run from it, or Smashy's just going to take the Death Warp. Not worth continuing on. So, didn't get so fortunate there. Now Archfield's going to go in the area where he knew there were Axe Knights and hopefully land one of those. Metal Scorpion's a pretty nice target, so yeah, that's probably the lowest monster you'd use it on, but it is a very nice target to get a nice boost of experience. Then you go wander off, let yourself Death Warp, and see what happens again. That Hurtmore on the Metal Scorpion is actually really nice to speed that process along. And we have a town just southeast of Charlock. Wyvern surprise attack Smashy again, but this time Smashy with his full HP is going to survive that, be able to land the Hurtmore, and the Wyvern will get Smashy level 5. And 1, 2, 5, 14. So we now have some extra Hurtmores here, and we have keys. Great. Just what we needed. This Metal Scorpion's going to take Archfield to that same level. We see a lot of goodies that are really expensive there. We do not have a gold grind available to us, so we're probably not going to get those goodies. We do find out that goldmen have Hurtmore. However, which of course you don't mind at this very moment, because or Archfield doesn't, because he wanted to go back and get his refill with those 3 extra Hurtmores. But that's going to be really nice to get starting gear if you can grab that. Smashy going to sit here and look for those Wyverns, and the Warlock's a nice target too. Go grind a couple of them quickly, and move, and Wolves here, so he's got Wyverns, Wolves, Warlocks, all decent enough Hurtmore targets that are going to get you to the next level pretty quickly, and here we are. 2, 0, 1, 0. So our stats are coming very, very slowly, but this is enough to get through. Archfield attacks, sees a werewolf, throws a Hurtmore at it, it does not take it down, and so Archfield goes home yet again. With this zone that they have, I'm probably, because of the Wyverns there, I will be willing to grind this up to level 9 at 975 experience before I try to wander off too much in order to get survivability. It's a really good situation at the moment, with being able to Hurtmore here and not having any real risk outside of potentially a back attack. You're getting gold for potential gear, and you've got healing immediately. So if you don't have healing anywhere else, then you've got healing there. Archfield finds yet another Charlock monster. Not going to be able to take it out because he's not going to survive a one attack from that Armor Knight right now, but we do definitely have Charlock zones out here. We have a lot of places to use that Hurtmore as the game goes later if we're having trouble finding a grind zone. Smashy decides to swing at that wolf The wolf laughs and breathes fire all over him, torches him. He's going to go back home. We'll see what he decides to do from now. Meanwhile, Archfield's going to come across Rimuldar, going to blast this wolf on his way, and we'll see what the next plan is. Smashy, now that he has extra keys, he's going to go ahead and go back, get his token again, and then we'll see what he does after that. Archfield's going to find this wyvern, blast it to get to level 6 just like Smashy did, and then he's got enough gold, he's going to go in and restock all his keys when he gets to Rimuldar. Interestingly enough, I don't believe Smashy checked the Rimuldar shop. Okay. Archfield not interested in restocking keys. Or checking the shop. I guess maybe just wants to blast those last couple Hurtmores out before going in. So Smashy gets that token back. Oh, Smashy did check it. What was in that chest? I'm at the chest in Rimuldar, so maybe I said shop, but he restocked on his keys at Rimuldar, but then got killed by that wolf and didn't go back in to check what was behind the inn, so... Archfield still not picking up extra keys, but instead opting to continue to grind, using his Hurtmores here. Smashy is going to end up 1 experience point short of level 7. Let's see if he grabs another slime to take him to level 8. No, he'll do a wyvern. That will serve quite nicely. Archfield can also get a wyvern to take him to level 7. So we're pretty darn even at this moment, except Archfield has not gotten the token out of the back of the castle. 2902 sleep, repel. I imagine Arch will just sit here and keep grinding in this area. Smashy is trying to branch out a little bit, but I definitely think that getting to level 8 is going to be very, very fast in this zone, and so sticking around long enough to do that, potentially get the gear to get something even better. Smashy, unfortunately, doesn't have any Hurtmores, which is the other thing that goes on when you branch out this early on. You may have Hurtmore, but you don't have a lot of MP, so you will run out of those Hurtmores quickly and all of a sudden be completely helpless. Smashy does find the grave, comes across a knight, which is another great Hurtmore target, but he does not have Hurtmores. Archfield got to go back to the inn, restock his stuff, and go again. Smashy is going to find wings, he's going to find an herb, and he is going to find gold. So nothing of real note in the grave. I can't imagine he decides to dive it right now, given having no resources, but Smashy proves me wrong. One thing I really enjoy watching Smashy is he is a very unpredictable player. I call him chaotic. He is willing to take steps that very few would make, and it often pays off really well for him, which is why he wins so much. But sometimes it does not pay off well for him. So he will often do unorthodox things, and it makes him very entertaining to watch. Smashy going and getting another fighter's ring, finally equipping it, apparently. And he's setting up the Death Necklace gold grind. I wonder what he's going to grind up to. Is there a broadsword in Rimuldar, maybe? That might potentially be what he's going after. I'm curious how far he's going to grind on this. If he stops 1500, then I'm going to assume there's a broadsword. But he's continuing to go. Maybe there was a full plate that he's looking for, or maybe there's... I don't remember what else was there. I just remember lots of 4+ figures. Archfield, meanwhile, is going to get level 8 while Smashy's doing this gold grind. And that's 1 power, 3 speed, 0 hit points, 10 magic points, and stop spell. So magic going up, nothing else going up. But when you have Hurtmore, magic going up is a pretty nice one. So I imagine Archfield's going to stay here at least 1 more level, killing these wyverns. It's, we don't have any healing, we don't have any HP, so branching out is really, really dangerous. Smashy also going to stock up on this fairy water, now that he's gotten the amount of money he wants. That looks like full plate money to me. So yes, there is indeed a full plate and a copper sword is what he's got his money there for. Not going to bother saving because, as far as he knows, there's nothing dangerous on the way. I'm not sure where exactly that Axonite zone is, so it's possible he runs into something, but I don't think so. I think the Axonite zone is too far north, so he should be perfectly safe here. Archfield is going to give us that check inside the Rimmledar Sharp, and it is gold, so he's going to be able to take that and go back to the shop if he wanted to, buy himself a copper sword or something of that nature, but he opts not to do that, and instead is going to go back out. Going to throw a repel out there and see what else he can find. Smashy does go buy that copper sword in full plate, and is going to be able to absorb a whole lot more when traveling. We'll see if he decides to continue to branch off. It appears that he is. Does not seem like he's grinding, but you can't really tell because of that spot. Archfield is going to go back up in the Sharlock area now that he's got a little bit more stats. And he does take down a werewolf first try. We'll see what else he can find. Another werewolf. Let's see if he can absorb this. If he had some armor, I'd like it even better. But he gets a low HP wolf lord there, or werewolf there. Gets another 95 experience. Really, really flying up fast. He's got a Star Wyvern here. The Star Wyvern has heal, which makes it very, very safe, because if the Hurtmore does not kill it on the first try, then you're going to get another try without taking any damage. And just like that, Archfield is hitting level 9, and is going to get 9 power, 7 response speed, 8 hit points, 8 magic points. That's a very nice, solid level. He's now trying to wander back down to get to Rimmledar. He does not know the wolves have DL2 breath. He does now know that the wolves have DL2 breath. The wolf players have taken a swing on those wolves to see what could happen, and didn't work out. Red Dragon is here, attacks. Not going to do a whole lot against the Red Dragon when they can melee you for 51, and you have 33 HP. That Red Dragon might compel Smashy to sit and grind a little bit longer, but we'll see. Archfield now going to go check the back and get his token. Smashy hoping these wyverns keep throwing themselves up. I don't remember what he saw in Grave, but it might be kind of interesting to go back in, because we know they saw Knights. I don't remember if we saw anything else. Or I should say, I don't remember what else we saw. I know he died to something, but I don't remember what. Gets a Magi Wyvern down, the single best Hurtmore target out there. Gonna get him to level 8. He's gonna get the disappointment that is level 8, and will continue on his adventure. Gonna find another Magi Wyvern. That's very nice. Unfortunately, this is his last Hurtmore available to him, so he is now not going to be able to take any more experience as he is traveling, unless he finds another town that can heal him. So unless this is Hawksness, he is in really good shape, because he's got a Magi Wyvern zone. And it is Garenham, which is really nice to find, because we have the back of Garenham that has goodies, and a cave behind it, which could also have goodies. Smashy also not checking the shop right now. He doesn't have resources to buy anything, so he's just going to go ahead and check the back. He gets a Dragon Scale and immediately equips it, much to the tracker's favor. The Stones of Sunlight and the Torch. So key item needed, not anything that's really going to help progression at this moment. I mean, the scale's obviously nice for an extra 2 defense, but that's of very, very minimal utility. The mountain, on the other hand, is not of minimal utility unless it is very disappointing. So we shall see what goes in there. We have resources. We can hurt more a lot of things that might show up, or absolutely nothing can show up, is what's happening for Smashy right now. While he's doing that, Archfield is going to throw a torch, kill this Star Wyvern, and gonna get himself level 15, which will come with the stats of 2, 3, 1, 11. So again, a terrible level except for MP. Smashy gonna find the Silver Harp. So we have all of our quest items. We already know where the Silver Harp trade-in cave is, so we don't have to worry about that. Smashy double-checking that he equipped that Dragon Scale before he's willing to drop it. The armor, gold, a Hurt More Bolt Knight. I mean, again, well, this is the Grave 1 zone, so we knew there was a Knight in here. We've got Star Wyverns in here. With Erdrick's armor, he's going to be able to do pretty well. He knows it has heal, so it's a lot safer, but it does not even get to cast anything, goes down in one shot. Smashy going to get the actual decent level 9 and continue to try to see if he can't get to Mountain 5 before something gets him. And it is a magic key. So he gets the key fund for going in the back of Garanham. We'll see if he checks the shop here. Yeah, I believe that he's going to probably load up on herbs as well. But if there's a broadsword or if there is a large shield, you can make use of that. There is nothing of the sort. We've only seen Silver Shield so far, and so nothing he can do with that. He's going to load up on herbs and continue on. It's going to be the first healing we've had of the game, because we can't get healing out of Rimeldar because it has no item shop. Archfield, on the other hand, sticking to these grinds, wanting to get himself somewhere where he has hit points and or healing. So he's going to take this up to level 11 and see what happens. I think he's probably sitting over here now because he's trying to keep his gold so he can get that full plate armor. So he's not going back into the danger zone at the moment. He's going to go ahead and get up there. Red Dragon, he can survive one hit from a Red Dragon because of that Erdrick's armor, but not 2. 40 agility makes it very difficult to run away, and Smashy is going to go back. He can trade in his harp, though. Archfield gonna go get the last gold, which is going to give him enough to go get that full plate armor, and be able to go ahead and get a resource refill in the process. Not enough to purchase a Copper Sword as well, but I don't feel like Copper Sword is high on Archfield's priority list. Here comes Smashy to trade in that harp. Smashy getting a lot of homework done, but I do think unless he sits down and grinds for a little while, he's going to have trouble with this exploration because Red Dragon's everywhere, and it's a lot of levels till we get some HP or healing that we can survive with. He's going to try to kill this werewolf, see if he gets it in one shot. He does, so he's going to get a nice 95 experience. Archfield now going to try the exact same thing. And he gets it in one shot. That will be sufficient to get him to level 11, with that comes 4 power, 2 agility, 4 hit points, 13 magic points, and no healing. So we will continue on with this grind of the Star Wyverns. Hurtmore misses on the Armor Knight for Smashy. He's going to throw a second Hurtmore, hoping that maybe there's a heal underneath it, but he has no such fortune and will go back. Now that Archfield has full plate, he is more than happy to go back to the Dangerous Zone to grind, and we call it the Dangerous Zone for the reason you just saw, as a werewolf does not go down to 1 Hurtmore and instead sends Archfield back home. Smashy coming across another Armored Knight. Might notice this zone over here and think it's nice to grind on. Unfortunately, you take a lot of damage, so you can only really fight one unless you want to go ahead and use your herbs. You don't have very many of, or, you know, it's going to be difficult to refill them, so it may not be the ideal thing to do. But we'll see what he decides here. Again, he knows he's not going to run, so he's going to throw a Hurt More, see if maybe he can pull out a heal on the back end. It does not happen, and he's going to go home. The other thing Smashy could decide to do is, as Beta mentions in the chat, go back down to where Garanham is and try to grind those Magiwyverns that are right near it. Unfortunately, I don't know if dragons are the red dragons are in those same zones. So, but wow, Smashy having absolutely horrific Hurt More luck. Tries to run away, but that's incredibly unlikely and goes down. As a reminder, the Armored Knights are 1 in 16 to dodge a Hurt More, so 3 separate Hurt More dodges in the last, 4 Armored Knight battles is a very unfortunate occurrence for Smashy. X-Knight's much more favorable. Archfield tries to branch out a little bit, but runs into a red dragon, gonna send him back home, and we'll move back on again. Red dragons seem to be wanting to make Archfield work for that Erdrick's armor. We'll see if that one red dragon was enough to deter him from going that way, and it appears it is, because he is going to try to head to the northeast area that Smashy is in, and we'll see if he is able to get any further than Smashy did before big bad monsters come take care of him. Smashy is finding some Axe Knights here, which he's really able to get down pretty easily. And of course the heal walking is absolutely spectacular. We do see a town, we've got mountains and a really windy road, but we will get to that town. Now, let's see if it might be Hawksness. If it is Hawksness, you could, and it's like an Axe Knight on it, you could grind it for a little bit. Not a whole lot, because you don't have a lot of resources, but it's still a nice place to think about. Archfield Hurt Mooring that golem. I don't think it's because he wants gold. I think it's because it has Hurt More, and you don't want to fail a run to it, but it will you guarantee to kill it if you land the Hurt More. Meanwhile, both of our players find Hawksness, and will try to move on to the Spike tile. Smashy's going to run into a Star Wyvern first. Star Wyvern is not going to go down. I'm going to cast Heal, which is going to force another Hurt More cast. We have an Armored Knight on the Spike. Archfield also throws a Hurt More, hoping he can get a heal on the back end, because he knows the run is very unlikely, plus he doesn't have any way to restore his resources anyway. Smashy is going to use an herb here to get himself max healing on his way to the Spike tile. He's going to find out it is an Armored Knight. We'll see if it does a back attack. It does not. Let's see if the Hurt More actually lands for once. The first one does. Let's see if we get a second land. And the second lands. This will be nothing, a flute, or a sword. It is a nothing. Now Smashy's going to go take himself a Death Warp. Or attempt to take himself a Death Warp. We've got Weak Breath on the Star Wyvern as well. Gets a crit, but fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, the crit is not enough because we have no AP. Meanwhile, Archfield is one werewolf from level 12. This knight will also take him to level 12. So, the stats we get here are 23 power, 1 speed, 12 hit points, 3 magic points, and heal more. Now it's go time. Still can't really handle a red dragon, but you've got a lot more survivability across the overworld. We'll see. Archfield gonna head back to Hawksness, obviously, as the next target. Nice thing is, he can now potentially try to absorb that hit from the Armored Knight. Smashy taking a look at his stats, trying to figure out what to do with that. Managed to catch up pretty well on experience right now. Gonna use the fairy water so that he doesn't lose a hurt more on his travels. And he does find yet another town. This is going to be coal. Again, could be a nothing, could be a sword, could be a flute. He's also going to check the store to see if he can find a large shield, and he does find a large shield. Now let's see what he finds on the search tile. He finds nothing! Are we going to get the legendary 0 for 3? That's a 1 in 125 chance, or are we going to have coordinates? That is the question. I don't believe we have seen a cursed belt, so I don't think there's anything... We don't have any knowledge that there are or are not coordinates. There's a nice little tiny island here that Smashy does notice and doesn't cut off on his map, and so he is able to continue on. Let's see if it cuts off here. It does cut off here, though. Not exactly sure where, like, how Smashy got to this part of the map. I missed the initial part of the walk, so we'll see where he goes back. I don't know if he has wings, so I don't know that returning is possible at this point, even if he wanted to, so he's going to walk back, but he's going to go around the other side of this water, I'm sure, and go down. Now he's going to find a cave right here, and okay, this is Grave, so that's where he is now. So now he's going to go this way. I believe this is the path to, ultimately going to be the path to Garenham, and then he's going to have to go beyond that to get to something else. Armor Knight gives him a nice hard swing. Smashy still does not have the healing, so travels even with Erdrick's armor giving a 1 per step heal. He doesn't have as much HP. He doesn't have more easy healing. I mean, he does have herbs, but it's still going to make that Armor Knight a little tougher. And 600 experience, he will have a much better time of it. Archfield finally gets that Armor Knight down, finds the nothing. I assume he's going to sit here and kill Armor Knights until his resources run out. Smashy finally going to go check this chest here in Rimeldar, and going to find the gold therein. Archfield trying to kill another Armor Knight, but in the Smashy school, but learns from the Smashy school of missing hurt mores on Armor Knights. So Smashy going to travel Garenhamward again, and we'll see what happens. I think Archfield might sit here until he gets to level 13, hoping for a bigger HP gain. Another little, tiny little one-row forest tile across water comes to absolutely nothing, but it's interesting to see. Repel doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. Neither one of them are seeing very much, so this overworld must not have a whole lot of that mid-tier section. Just the starting zones and the ending zones. Now Archfield is going to come across Garenham. Let's see if he survives all the way to the armor to reap those rewards. Smashy going to try to help us out here by searching a Sparko tile, and now we know one location the the coordinates are not. And Smashy tries to light the Stone Man up, quite literally. Archfield sees that shields are not available again. Smashy going to search 2 more tiles, I assume. And that one's not it, and that one is not it. One day it will happen. And this little area cuts off. Archfield gonna get his stones and then other kind of pointless chests out there, and going to go in the back of Mountain. We never saw an enemy in Mountain 1 while Smashy was there, so either everything in Mountain 1 is repelled or he got very fortunate, so let's see if Archfield has the same experience. It appears Archfield will have the same experience, so that Zone 1 must be a lot of really tiny enemies. Archfield's gonna get his Silver Harp. Smashy finds a new cave that we have not yet seen. It is the Stones Cave. And it has fairy water. So at this point, in terms of finds, we have not found Cantlin. We haven't found Breckenary, but meh. We haven't found Cantlin. We haven't found the Jerk. We haven't found Swamp. That's the only things we haven't found up to this point. We've gotten every check, or at least Smashy has gotten every check other than the 2 treasure chests in Deep Grave. And now Smashy going to get his much-needed heal more. So I'm not sure where left in the map Smashy has to go at this point. He's already covered this little blob out here. Archfield gonna get level 13 with 5 power, 6 agility, 11 hit points, 6 magic points, and heal. 69 hit points is reasonable. I mean, is an amount of hit points you would enjoy, but not quite enough to deal with red dragons. So I'm actually gonna go refill his herbs. Go back to the inn here at Garenham, and I guess go south again from here. Maybe there's more. I believe south of here is where Cole was. Smashy double-checking to see if there was a copper sword there. Probably didn't note it at the time, but I do not believe we have... Not copper sword, broadsword. But I do not believe we have seen a broadsword at this time. But since Cantlin is our remaining check, it very well might be there. Though I do wonder at what point one of our players considers diving Deep Grave, because, I mean, Archfield hasn't seen it yet, so when Archfield does see it, he may just try to do the whole grave dive. Smashy had tried to, but had absolutely no resources, and was not able to get very far at all. Oh, has Archfield seen Grave? And didn't do Deep Grave? Okay. I'm not... I missed it if that happened. But I very frequently miss things. And we have another cave here. It is the Jerk Cave. So Smashy can now enter Sharlock. And he travels across this huge amount of swamp here. Very happy he has the armor. Gonna come up here. I imagine this will cut off here. We're on the east coast. The Red Dragon still tells Archfield, "You shall not pass," and moves on. I wonder if this might be enough to get Archfield to go dive Deep Grave before he tries to wander off any further. He does not know that, but it will be very valuable to him. Here is a cave. Here is Breckenary, which is not the town you wanted, but it is at least a resource refill. The cave, I believe, has to be swamp. Very decent odds Cantlin is across from it. I would not check the spike tile until after I have seen Cantlin. We are going to check for broadsword here in the Breckenary shop. And we do not get a broadsword. Smashy not going to go to swamp. He's going to go clear this last little section of the land out before he takes a different adventure. And I believe he has cleaned this section of the map out, so... and Archfield kind of hot on his tails here, so he's going to find... he's going to find Breckenary soon, and we'll see if he goes across the swamp cave. Both of our players can dive Sharlock if they wish to. But I can't fathom wishing to at this point in time. Alright, Smashy just clearing off little pieces of this world, and now I imagine is going to go back, re-heal at Breckenary, and go across Swamp Cave. Again, I do not check the spike tile until I have found Cantlin, because I do not want to risk it being a red dragon or something I can't get away from. At 58 HP, I cannot just heal and run attempts, because the second swing by the red dragon is almost certain to kill me. Archfield and Smashy are going to be staying at the inn on the same evening, and we'll then go from there. Both, I'm assuming both across that cave. Smashy gonna walk across, so he is gonna check the spike tile. Oh no, he thinks better of it. Goes ahead and outsides, and as we're gonna see what is hiding over on this part of the map. There is hopefully going to be a Cantlin somewhere around here. Wow, this area opens up a lot wider than you might think it would. It appears that Archfield did check the spike tile, but I missed what it was. It is a blue dragon. So neither spike tile particularly desirable at this moment. Has Smashy clear? No, there's a bridge over there that we still gotta go across. And so that's probably where Cantlin is, since this whole area that Archfield's in is a whole bunch of nothing. Smashy gotta get his level 13, get that nice 11 HP boost, and move on. And he does locate Cantlin, as does Archfield. We will get our coordinates in just one moment. I do suspect there will be a check for a broadsword at the shops, especially for Archfield since he has no weapon. No, he purchases a large shield, but Smashy does find his broadsword, so he purchases that. Won't bother checking any more shops today, though he is hoping that broadsword is very short-lived. Go ahead and stock up on some fairy waters. Certainly a reasonable play. And our coordinates are 15 north and 16 east. So, that is a pretty, simple count. I assume Smashy will immediately, use wings if he has them. Otherwise, he will do exactly what Archfield is doing and purchase the wings to go back and find out again. Purchasing a second set of wings in case you need them for a Charlock dive. Although, in this particular situation, you don't really need them for Charlock because the Charlock is so close to home, and it's really not a time loss if you don't have return. Smashy appropriately walks right past the radish vendor without thinking twice. It is very much Yogi countable. Just start by going east. Although I actually think you will run into Charlock if you do the Yogi count. I believe this will be just like northeast of Charlock. Smashy has not checked the spike tile yet, which is why he did not immediately return. He's gonna go see what's hiding in the swamp, if it's something he can throw some resources at. With that broadsword, Smashy now strong enough to kind of do a cleanup. If the Hurtmore doesn't kill the monster, he can do a swing. Although with those werewolves, it is still dangerous because the werewolves are very dodgy, dodging 1 out of every 8 attacks. And he finds that it is a blue dragon. Well, I mean, you're here, might as well just blow whatever Hurtmores you have at it until it sends you home. I do approve of the way this is being approached. We're not going to heal, we're just going to keep throwing Hurtmores out. Or not. Maybe he'll just keep grinding here until he runs out of resources. We'll see. Yep, he's going to stay here until he runs out of resources. I don't mind that either. And now he's changed his mind yet again after that surprise attack. Gonna see if he can't do a swing Hurtmore here. It doesn't happen. I do not mind the way he played that. Alright, so Archfield gonna go north. There's a little mountain range there. He's gonna go east. Oh no, you could do the Yogi count right past it. And Arch does not quite get the count. And now he does, and it is the sword. So when Smashy gets that... oh, actually not Smashy. So now, both players are in grind and go, so the grind part is going to be the intriguing part of this seed. I imagine Smashy is going to... There is a reasonable argument for trying to grind in Charlock, but this is also Charlock right outside this cave where Archfield is, so if you're going to grind in Charlock, just grind here. Yeah, I imagine we're going to be grinding on these Arbor Knights, Werewolves, Star Wyverns, and there's Axe Knights somewhere. I don't know if it's the same zone or not. I think it is. This spike tile, there is an armored knight that is a little ways away across that bridge. There is a blue dragon that is very far from home, but near a town, but it is a blue dragon, and our AP is not good, so it's not an ideal grind either, especially with only 69 hit points. You're going to be healing too much. But sitting right here by the start with Charlock monsters is not really a bad thing. 177 and hurt. That's not going to do it for you. Okay, so there are Axe Knights in this little zone here as well. I don't know if Archfield's straddling zones, or if he is, seems like, yeah, I'm not he might be straddling zones. I don't think he is. So I think this zone is, I think if he goes over here, the zones are different. But it appears he's going to go refill his resources. Now, this is where my phrase that people who've been watching this are sick of comes in, which is the grind you have is better than the grind you don't. My first thought is, well, if there's red dragons down by Garanham, so if you get level 15 and it's got the HP to deal with red dragons, maybe you want to go check out what's in that zone, because we know there are Star Wyverns in that zone. But over by Garanham. So you might think about going down there, but I don't know how I feel about that, because this is close to home. You can death warp, you can take chances. That's further away, and you know, you don't know what else is there. And a 20% red dragon zone is certainly not bad, especially right now if there is Magi Wyverns there as well. But you know, I don't know. I hesitate to go for a long walk if you don't have a good sense for what's there. And the time it takes you to travel to that location is time you are not grinding experience, generally speaking, which means that even if it is more efficient, you put yourself at a deficit. So, as Beta said in chat, this grind is, quote, good enough. And that's often what you need for a grind. It's just something that's good enough, but easy to get to, versus, again, spending time not getting experience in order to try to find more efficient experience. Smashy has done a good job kind of catching up with Archfield here in experience. Arch has got a 500 experience lead, which is a little bigger in this seed than it is in other seeds, or in seeds with spike tiles, or with better spike tiles, because it takes a little longer to get 500 experience with the grinds that they're doing, but it's still not, you know, ridiculous. It is going to give Archfield's going to probably have a market edge in terms of being in Charlock first, but we don't know what's in Charlock. If there's reds in there, armored knights, our agility is absolute trash at this point in time, so you never know what might slow someone down. And that Axe Knight does not go down to 1 hurt more. Smashy goes down. It's going. So while Smashy is getting a refill from the King, Archfield's going to go get a refill from Remelar. I think the King is actually faster here, but not by an awful lot. Smashy going to come back over here into this zone that has the Star Wyverns and Knights, getting away from the ones that have all the Armor Knights and Axe Knights. So as I mentioned in chat, the idea of having another overtime in this race, because this is run asynchronously, the runners do not know the results. They are learning the results watching this video as well, because they don't have a race room to work with. And so, if this were to go to overtime, we would have to have the overtime race run at some other point in time. We would not find out the conclusion of this seed during this stream. Smashy keeps trying to outswing this Star Wyvern heal, and while he's getting it, he's actually not outswinging the heal. It's just, I'm pretty confident the heal is only 50%, so he's not having to worry too much about, he'll get attacked eventually. This Armor Knight is going to take us 4 experience away from level 15. And we might get a sense whether we're going to level 16 or whether we're going to level 19. And our level 15 is, drumroll, 6, 3, 4, 1, and return. That is not gonna cut it. Just 5 more levels like that and they will be in go mode though. This is the point where you would really love to actually see those MP gains that we were getting early on in the seed, because the longer you can maintain this grind, the better. But unfortunately with 80 hit points, still, like, red dragons aren't viable if you wanted to go that route. If you wanted to dive Sharlock and see what's there, potentially getting red dragons and golems, or finding a spike tile that's much more preferable at the basement, you don't have enough MP to really make use of that, and especially to account for the lower encounter rate. So it's just really not... the MP, it'd be really, really nice to have. But of course, every stat would be nice to have. Our strength is trash, our agility is trash, our HP is trash, our MP is low. So it's not really where you want to be when you're at level 15 and don't have what feels like a particularly efficient grind. Because the entire time you're grinding this, while the wrong strategy is to leave it to try to find something else unknown, you are thinking, what if my opponent found a better zone? Smashy going to get this relatively disappointing level 15, and we will continue our grind. What's interesting is based on the way these stats will sometimes pan out, HP gains can often come in gigantic chunks. So with the AP we have, it is not unreasonable to think that this still might be a Death Necklace seed. Both our players have the Death Necklace, so it's not really a big deal, but it is definitely not unreasonable to think that that might be the case. Smashy deciding his AP is enough at this point to go with Swing Hurt More strats. And with that swing it was, I hesitate a lot with Swing Hurt Mores on Armored Knights, because they can roll up to 99 hit points, and at 120 AP your swings are often not going to be enough to kill them even with a follow-up Hurt More. So I feel like we need to put up Repel to get rid of that Goldman. So I feel like the Swing Hurt More strats are actually more risky than just double Hurt More at this point in time. That 27 makes it highly unlikely, although not impossible, that the follow-up Hurt More will kill the Axe Knight, in which case, or the Armor Knight, in which case you're going to have to hit it another time, and now you have lost a lot more resources. However, with the max roll, Hurt More does help getting it down. The flip side of a Swing Hurt More is that if you swing first, you do give yourself the opportunity to get an instant killing crit, but the odds of that are low enough to not generally be worth factoring into the decision. But the Swing Hurt More is working relatively well for Smashy at this point in time. That's a very nice swing, so he will almost certainly cover the hit points here. And now he is going to walk to the easier zone to get the Star Wyvern, to get the Knight, the things he can one Hurt More and not lose the resources on until he's out of resources, rather than going back with lots of resources. I kind of like this play to switch to the Heal Walkie zone briefly while you are running out of resources before you go back. Archfield gets level 16, and the power is 5, response speed 7, hit points 15, magic 4. We still aren't close to go, but that is a very nice gain anyway. And Smashy has really managed to catch up here. He is only like 200 experience behind at this point. Or, sorry, 400 experience behind. I was looking at things, I guess, before that werewolf was killed. But Smashy's caught up a little bit here, especially given that it was like 800 for a small amount of time there, so that's gone pretty nice. Maybe that Swing Hurt More extending the resources a little more has helped him out? I don't know. Or maybe it's just RNG being RNG. it's very rare that you see the stat gains where everything ends up in the orange range. Usually there's one stat that's lagging, or one stat that's really lagging, or one stat that's really far ahead. And Smashy does get that initial attack that we were talking about. Archfield is going to go down to the Red Dragon zone now that he has that HP. There's a werewolf here. I don't know what else is in this zone. And we're checking other parts. See, he's not exactly sure where this zone is. So every bit of time he's spending doing this, hoping to get a monster, hoping to find that red dragon, is time that Smashy's going to get experience and be able to cut into the lead. This decision right here could actually give up the experience lead for Archfield. So now we're going to check a different area to see if we can't find Armor Knights here. Red Dragons here. This is the very embodiment of my "the grind you have is better than the grind you don't" mantra. And now Smashy is within 22 experience points, if I remember the numbers correctly. Archfield with a little more resources, so it's probably going to get a little buffer there to start off with, but they are... neither one is going to get the level on this set of resources, so those will probably even out when Archfield goes to refill, and we will probably get level 17 coming very, very close, and we are not far from go. And as someone mentioned in chat, Smashy has a bunch of fairy waters right now, and Archfield does not. So, that if there is something borderline here, those fairy waters can really change a thing. The one benefit to Smashy's swing hurt more strategy here is that if it lands, you're doing pretty well, and of course Archfield's doing the same thing now. If it lands, you don't take any more damage, and you only lose 1 hurt more of resources versus 2 hurt more of resources, so it allows you to stay out on the grind better. I do prefer the method that Brian said in chat, which is throw the hurt more out there and see what it hits for. If it hits for 58, then you're likely not going to kill on a swing, and you throw a second hurt more. If it hits for 65, your odds of killing on a swing are much higher, so you can go ahead and swing, and you can kind of make your decision in between those from that. But it will give you the best opportunity to kind of make sure, or to ensure the Armor Knight goes down in 2 turns, while simultaneously giving you the chance to stretch your resources. And the hurt more misses on the Axe Knight for good measure. Smashy will chop it down and go refill. Archfield might actually get the level on... No, I don't think he'll get the level on this set of resources, but he will get awfully close. Okay, he's certainly not getting the level on this set of resources, given that he just died. So if level 17 is go, this is gonna be super tight. a nice initial swing right there of 39. This Hurtmore will take it down. Assuming it lands, which is not a safe assumption based upon the experience from these two runners today. And as I say that, Archfield misses a Hurtmore on the Axe Knight. An Armored Knight will give Archfield the next level, and Axe Knight will put him 3 experience away. So he may or may not have the next level depending upon what his next encounter is. Assuming he ever gets a next encounter. Alright, this Armored Knight will give Archfield the level. And it will put Smashy 1 kill away from the level. Archfield gets, at this level, 3 power, 3 agility, 10 hit points, 17 magic points. That is a little too tight for my comfort. It's doable if you roll well and get all your resources going in with Fairy Waters. Remember, Archfield does not have Fairy Waters, so there is no reasonable way in which he goes on that. Unless he decides to wander all the way off to Brecconeria and Cantland to get Fairy Waters, and the time it takes him to go all the way there, he could almost have grinded to level 18. Smashy, with Fairy Waters, had a better chance of going, but decides against it and is continuing to grind as well. Given our defense, the Fairy Waters are not going to play in any way in Repel, so if this next level gives them any substantial attack power versus other stats, the Fairy Water will not benefit Smashy. Unless they get another 8 agility and Charlock is teaming with wizards. Especially going to heal more, hurt more here. He's going to heal more because that weak swing was weak, and I assume that the hurt more was not going to go. Archfield does take a death here with 1 hurt more left in the arsenal, so it's not going to be a particularly costly death. And it is going to give Smashy a potential chance to get 1 more monster and take the experience lead briefly. Of course, Smashy's going to go refill right now, while he's probably going to swing this Axe Knight down. He's going to go refill right now while Archfield starts his grind again, so of course Archfield will take that lead back. But Smashy at least took the experience lead briefly. And of course, a Hurtmore misses on an Axe Knight, because that has been the theme of this seed. The 1 in 16 over and over again. What I'm hearing from this seed is 1 in 16s have high probability, so I book it down to the Dragon Lord and start throwing Hurtmores. That's how math works, isn't it? Smashy now having that monsters refuse to come near me thing, only ends up 60 experience points behind by the time he gets back to the grind. Now he's having trouble finding a monster, so Archfield able to get an Armored Knight to put him up a little further, but again, gonna be one, maybe two monsters to go, probably, when Archfield finishes his, although encounter rate has a lot to do with that, and whether they hit Axe Knights or Armored Knights has a lot to do with that. So what Smashy is really hoping for at this level is for strength to stay at 128, but resources to go up just a little bit. And what Archfield's hoping for is for strength to go up by a substantial amount. Alright, Archfield is 2 Axe Knights or 1 Armored Knight away from the next level. Smashy is 2 Armored Knights or 3 Axe Knights away from the next level. And the Armored Knight will give Archfield... Wait, oh no, it's 14,250, not 14,000. Never mind. Alright, now this Armored Knight will get Archfield the level. Smashy with an Axe Knight I don't believe will get the level, and Armored Knight would have done it, but regardless, he'll take that down and then be 1 monster away no matter what. Now this will get Archfield the level, and he gets 7 power, 12 agility, 16 hit points, 5 magic points. That is go! Smashy going to get the level right here, so they are going to be neck and neck in getting to the end. It's all about encounter luck. Again, 82 defense power. If I am Smashy, I am throwing up those fairy waters, because there is the chance that there are wizards there, and if you repel 1 wizard, you are giving yourself an advantage. And we start off with an Armored Knight in this zone. Immediately telling Archfield 84 agility does not count. And now Smashy enters. We find our first Golem of the seed, I believe. And just get away from it. We get another Armored Knight, who also will not let us escape. Smashy, meanwhile, having a very nice dive until he hits an Armored Knight in basically the exact same location. Actually, not basically the exact same location, in the exact same location. And he gets away, which means that he has now taken the lead, and Archfield's back in the lead. Oh, no, now they're synced up, and now Smashy's in the lead. And they sink their stairs. Archfield half a step ahead now. Smashy takes a lead, but Archfield runs right past him fighting an Armored Knight to deal with a werewolf, which is much easier to run from, so gets a little bit of an edge here. Armored Knight versus Golem here. Both have a run fail going on. Smashy gets another run fail. Gets away on the 3rd try, is going to use an herb to heal up to make sure he's not in horrible trouble if he runs into another one. Archfield gets to the second zone. Let's see if anything special is waiting here for them. We've got a werewolf. That's nothing special. Smashy now in this zone. We've got a golem. We've got a red dragon. That can make things interesting, although Archfield gets through the floor without seeing one and gets into with a Star Wyvern instead. Archfield almost making it through the second floor without seeing a red dragon. And now we've both seen red dragons. Both have a first turn run fail. Both have a second turn run fail. Both have a third turn run fail. So both get the mercy rule. Red dragons are equal opportunity blockers. Smashy gonna use one of his heals. Archfield used his other heal already. Archfield gets a red dragon, which allows Smashy to pass him. Smashy gets a werewolf. Hopefully gonna let him go, and Archfield's gonna have to mercy rule yet again with this red dragon, giving Smashy a half floor lead. Oh, that may not be mercy. They got one more turn on that? Okay, but a red dragon will surprise attack Smashy. He does get away. Uses his last heal, and finds that there is a Armored Knight on this zone too. So we've got red dragons and Armored Knights hiding out here. Archfield joins Smashy on the U floor, gets stopped by an Axe Knight that will not let him go immediately. Blue dragons here as well. We haven't seen a whole lot out of blue dragons either. We get away there. Smashy gonna heal, make sure he stays in a nice safe range. Really taking a lead now with Smashy. Archfield having much worse encounter luck. But it just takes one Armored Knight or Red Dragon to change the thing. This Red Dragon, again, equal opportunity blocker. Both having 2 run blocks. Oh, and Archfield gets the 3rd run block as well, so he's going to have to mercy rule again, spend a heal more to get himself healed up, and continue on. Definitely RNG favoring Smashy at this moment, but there are still red dragons out there to be found. There are still Armored Knights to be found, and it would not take a lot of it would not be very difficult for those to stop Smashy on the way and let Archfield go through. We just saw there, Smashy's going to use a heal more of his own, and now all of a sudden they are only a few tiles apart from each other. We're walking through desert. They're probably going to be encounters by somebody here. Smashy actually gets all the way to the spike tile, and it is a blue dragon, but Archfield gets away from a red dragon, runs into an Armored Knight one step before the spike tile, gets away from that, and is now going to go into this blue dragon spike grind at the exact same time. Smashy gets the blue dragon down, but runs into an Armored Knight before he gets to the Dragon Lord, runs into a werewolf before he gets to the Dragon Lord, runs into an Axe Knight before he gets to the Dragon Lord, while Archfield has a clean walk to the Dragon Lord, so Archfield will be the first one to start the battle. I am going to be unable to count both turns, or both players, so they're both going to have to throw a heal more here. They're both probably going to kill the Dragon Lord on this next swing. Getting a hurt more, both for 20. Oh, nope. Archfield going to enter a few moments earlier. Is there going to be a back attack? There is going to be a back attack. If there's no back attack on Smashy, that cuts it earlier. I'm going to run Archfield here, so we're going to do 13. If that chat wants to track Smashy, he can. Smashy also gets the back attack. We now are up to 29. Very nice roll by Archfield. We do have the chance for doubles, which could speed up and give Smashy a chance to go back in, but Archfield is rolling good, gets another 15 for 54. And a 13, that's going to take it up to 67. 9, which is going to take it to 76. And 11, we're up to 87. Another 9, that takes us to 96. Archfield's goods rolls are starting to fall. Archfield's throwing Hurtmores out now. It has no effect. It has no effect. And the Dragon Lord gets a perfect bid. Now, Smashy not a guarantee yet either, but is up to, I believe, 128. And so that's going to take him to 140 if I'm reading chat right. So it's very high odds at this point. And that 13 is going to guarantee it. It's going to take us to 153. He's going to get 2 more swings, and even minerals will take him over the edge there. It's 153. That's going to be 167. Everybody get your GGs out for Smashy, who, by the narrowest of margins, manages to pull off the victory over the Dragon Lord, is going to beat Archfield, and we are going to see a Game 3. What a race. I was really starting to wonder if we were going to end up with another overtime, but again, unfortunately for Archfield, his rolls were low enough, and I think he went in with maybe one less heal more, because he was running out of resources pretty quickly, and after a couple of 9s, had to start throwing those Hurtmores. Now, it is worth noting, these were run asynchronously. What that means is that Archfield will not have any knowledge that Smashy has just finished. So even with that death, Archfield is going to know that he's going to want, or he's going to know that he's still got to win because he has no idea that Smashy's there. So he will push it until he wins, no matter what. He's trying to find those red dragons. It is just not happening for him. We have Archfield in chat, who does know this is going to a 3rd race, but Archfield on screen does not, and so we will watch this. He is going to grind to level 19 at this zone, and then is going to, and then I'm sure whatever level 19 is, Archfield is just going to absolutely mow through the Dragon Lord. Smashy's final time ends up being 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 6 seconds. Only 88 attacks the entire game for Smashy. He had 142 Hurtmore casts, 0 dodges. Both the 0 dodges and the 88 attacks are remarkable for a seed that went to level 18. Archfield does finally come across these red dragons, and so he is going to go at it. That was actually a dangerous swing for Archfield. He could have died on that swing. We are 2 red dragons away from level 19 now. We are now 1 red dragon or 3 werewolves away from level 19. We are now 1 red dragon or 2 werewolves away from level 19. We are now 1 red dragon or 1 werewolf away from level 19. Let's see which monster gets to give us the edge there. It is actually another werewolf. I'm wondering if this is 40% werewolf, 20% red dragon, because the disparity between the two is quite remarkable. And the level is 7 more power, 1 speed, another 11 hit points, another heal more. That is extremely go. But Archfield does not have wings, nor does he have enough MP for return. He starts to head towards Garenham for the refill there, opts instead to actually just do the direct walk to Rimeldar instead with a rappel up. Archfield really wants to, he can go ahead and throw on the Death Necklace and go real heavy at 152 attack power, but that's not the more efficient way to do things. At 142, you want 11 swings. At 152, you want 9 swings. So it's only a 2-swing difference, and that is a high... and there are high chances of doubles at 132 HP, so you're probably actually going to kill it just as fast, if not faster, without the Death Necklace. Archfield immediately gets stopped by an Armor Knight again as soon as he entered Sharlock, and fails to run from it, so very much a repeat of the previous dive. Fortunately, having the extra HP is going to be nice. There's not really an extra agility, so that's not going to really help out a whole lot, but the extra HP, the extra heal more, of course you need a whole lot less swings. You have 13 heal mores, you need 11 swings. You can burn 4 heal mores on this dive and be a-okay, probably 5. Oh, look at that! Green dragons have sleep. And we are not even running from green dragons at this point in time. Archfield uses one of the 2 heals he has in his arsenal before having to dip into the heal mores. Archfield starting to run into the red dragons as soon as he gets to the diamond floor, but gets away on the first try on that one. The red dragon, who also lets him go. If the red dragons were being this kind to him on the previous dive, Archfield goes in with all the resources he needs. Another red dragon. Does not get the first turn run from him that time. Let's see if we can get a second turn run. We do get a second turn run. So again, the red dragon fortune's completely different on this particular dive. Archfield's still going to go ahead and use a heal, get himself all the way up to the 132, put him in very little risk. Armor Knight finally says no, but only once again. I don't think he's had a double run fail to anybody with that green dragon on his dive after the absolute atrocity that was the first dive. So, again, if either of our players have this, then the race is not the kind of photo finish it seemed to be. But unfortunately, both of our racers got the previous dive's luck, and Archfield's going to absolutely obliterate this Dragon Lord and going to come up with the finish, which, as we know, will not be enough to beat Smashy, giving us a level, or a game 3. But in 2 swings, we get ourselves into the fight. We get back attacked yet again, but we still get the opening double after that. 12. 23. 45, rolling low still, or 35 rather. 46. So many chances for doubles, and the Dragon Lord is not cooperating. And 19 to take us to 65. That's the kind of rolls we're looking for. $17 takes us up to 82. And we finally get that double, which takes us to 98. We are now at 114. Takes us to 132. Archfield had gotten this level of rolls in his first dive. He may have beaten it too. 152. And 168 takes the Dragon Lord down. 164 is what the Dragon Lord had. So it was going to be very, very difficult. Even if Archfield had landed a hurt more, he would have still needed another swing after that. Archfield's final time is 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 35 seconds. So, while we are waiting for the credits and the final stats to show up, we have, coming back here on the Dragon Warrior Randomizer channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Game 2 between Diabetes II and Sausage Link. We do also have, coming up today, sorry, I take it back. The game that's being aired is Game 3 of Bob Pineapple MD and Pav. Then we have at 8 o'clock, which will not be shown live, Game 2 with Diabetes II and Sausage Link. And then at 9 o'clock, live status still to be determined, we have Game 2 of Angel versus RG365. and we will analyze the final stats here as they show up. Obviously not a whole lot from the early games, since we had that early hurt more, though you can see Archfield's Drakey grind. Then you have the Warlocks and Wolves, where we had a few of those kills, which we'll also see with the Wyverns right around Reveldar. Then we have 35 Werewolf kills, or fights, 22 kills. 40 Axe Knight fights, 37 kills. 43 Armor Knight fights, 29 kills. 15 Red Dragon fights, 2 kills. Obviously, most of those being the horrific Red Dragons in Charlock. Because of the extra level that Archfield got, he had more attacks. So he was dodged 4 times, 1 crit, 172 hurt mores. So really making more use of that hurt more. More swings, more hurt mores, more levels, more destruction of the Dragon Lord at the end. So I do not know if we are raiding somebody. Okay, we are going to raid Lorgon, former semi-finalist in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. And be back here at 7 o'clock for Game 3 of Bob Pineapple MD and Pav.